Good evening, welcome to the Pearl Report. I'm Diana Lin. South Korea's cultural tentacles began extending about a decade ago to ensnare global attention to its pop music and TV dramas. In the second of a three-part series, Erica Poon examines the reasons behind South Korea's cultural influence, Japan's fresh efforts to promote its culture, and what China is learning from the experiences of these two Asian counterparts.
The Japanese are also hooked on the Korean wave.
It's not that J-pop is passé, it's that K-pop is supreme.
Global attention and support for Korean pop culture will eventually turn into care for Korea.
Direct cooperation with Korean groups is to copy their most mature and successful experience.
In cultural clashes, countries cooperate and compete. With K-pop enveloping the world, China and Japan are rushing to catch up.
Making those Japanese younger generation more outward looking and exchange their views with foreign people and get some inspiration from abroad. We really admire Korean cultural businesses.
Unless China becomes as liberal as other democratic countries, it's going to be very difficult to come up with a very good imagination.
A concert staged by a popular South Korean boy band. You like them not for their looks?
If it's for the looks, we definitely wouldn't like Super Junior. Honestly, to a fan club like us, we think 800 yuan is very cheap for a concert.
The members of this boy band's fan club in China say their idols are nice to them and even learn Chinese because of them. The eldest person among these youngsters is only 23.
I am working now. 2 to 3 others are working too. Most of us are students. Some work as well as study.
Li Xiaoning is one of the managers of the fan club.
I keep things related to Super Junior. Even after I've eaten the cookies, I don't want to discard the box with their endorsement.
Why lock it up?
Rather valuable. The kids next door might take it. I'm concerned. This is rather precious.
She says she never chased idols like this before. She's even learning Korean.
This is my textbook. Here are many more. This is Standard Korean 2, Standard Korean 3.
Learning Korean solely for your idols?
Yes, I never thought of it before I liked them. I knew nothing about South Korea before.
Korean popular culture, or K-pop, began engulfing Asia about a decade ago. At the time, this state-owned TV station in South Korea produced a drama series called Winter Sonata. It became very popular in China and Japan. Many see it as the cradle for K-pop. Now, South Korea has 309 channels in fierce competition. TV stations willingly invest fortunes into making drama series, their output surpassing Japan in recent years. In 2011, more than 1,100 Korean drama series were exported. This station, for instance, invests 100 billion won, or about 700 million Hong Kong dollars, yearly to produce dramas.
15년 전에는 저희가 또 일본의 드라마를 보고
15 to 20 years ago, we saw Japanese TV dramas develop rapidly, prompting us to learn from and compete with them.
일본과도 비교를 하기도 했었습니다.
Now, Korean TV drama productions are very aesthetic, very competitive, and that's how they differ from Japanese TV dramas.
TV stations usually customize theme songs and background music for their dramas and produce a disc of the original soundtrack to promote the dramas. Lee Kang-hyun thinks the main selling points for Korean dramas are innovative production and content replete with family ethics and appeal for all ages.
특히 한국 드라마는
In particular, Korean dramas are based on Confucianism. For instance, respect for the elderly. The younger generations must let the old folks sit and eat first. This Confucian culture is ingrained in our dramas. Viewers in countries embracing Confucianism are especially interested in watching our shows.
This year marks the 10th anniversary of K-pop's entry into the Japan market, with TV dramas leading the way.
Magazine covers or special editions featuring Winter Sonata or Bae-Yong-jun sell several tens of thousands more copies than normal.
Jun Endo is deputy editor-in-chief of a women's magazine. He says the image of Korean male stars in TV dramas is what's lacking in Japan's show business, and that dream man's role is what Japanese women crave.
First, they are very cordial and protective towards women. They are physically strong, maybe stronger than Japanese men.
Besides drama, music is an integral part of K-pop. This South Korean girl group is described by the local media as the new generation's military chief, as it is very appealing to the armed forces.
That K-pop appeals to other countries is very amazing and cool to me. It motivates us to work even harder.
Last year, more than 50 bands sprung up in the Korean music scene. The girls think K-pop music's greatest appeal is the singers' synchronized dance moves.
Singers are equally skilled in group dancing and singing.
When we dance, it's like we are in the same frame. Plus, the dancing is free and liberating.
In just a decade, South Korea became an exporter of culture. Scholars studying K-pop think Korean culture has absorbed the diversity of American culture in the hope of gaining the same influence as the US on the international stage of soft power.
For example, there are several reasons why Psy's Gangnam Style song is so successful. But I think this song only uses South Korea and its language as background. Actually, it has no Korean characteristics. It has incorporated more American culture, so it appeals to people around the world.
Korean movies or the singing is quite universal. At the same time, we have a lot of Korean Americans coming back to Korea, and then they became very popular. So they influenced Korean music industry too. So these guys can speak very good English, so they can appeal to the international audience.
Fans from around Asia flock to Seoul for concerts to see their idols in action on stage. They include these girls from Japan.
I love you,
After seeing the concert in Seoul, these girls and their friends rehearsed for their own show. They've formed an amateur group imitating their idols and perform occasionally. These girls say a growing number of Japanese fans fly to South Korea just to attend concerts.
Not long ago, South Korea was a very popular destination for sightseeing, facial treatments, and shopping. Now the choice has widened to include music, concerts, and attending activities of pop idols.
They say, compared with Japanese pop music, they prefer South Korean bands' energetic dancing.
I have my favorite artists in J-pop, but in K-pop, after I saw Girls' Generation and other bands, I think their dance rhythms are accelerating. It's not that J-pop is passé, it's that K-pop is supreme. The country promoted and exported it. I think it's on a bigger scale than in Japan.
The Korean wave sweeping Japan has surprised even government officials.
I was shocked.
In 2009, Japan's market share in the global creative industry, such as the media, fashion, and design, was about 0.5%, valued at about $20 billion. The Japanese government says the aim is to achieve, by 2020, 1% market share in the world's creative and tourism industries, worth about 80 to 110 billion US dollars. To this end, South Korea is one of its models.
Korean cultural industries are doing good, very good abroad because they study a lot and they create things which is more popular in foreign market. Even the Japanese people loves Korean pop music and Korean drama and visit Korea because of that.
K-pop has prompted a Chinese TV station to cooperate with a South Korean production team. The South Korean government is building the nation on culture. Can China and Japan emulate this successful model? More on that after the break. Stay with us.
Three, two, one, 자, 유지.
그 다음에 이제 노래 끝난 다음에 제가 뒤로 빠져가지고 그림자 안 떨어지게끔 만들게요.
This is not South Korea. This is a TV studio in Wuhan, China. The station bought the copyright from a South Korean entertainment company for a co-production of a singing contest show. The Chinese station also invited Kim Tae-yoon, the executive director of the show's Korean version. Although the show in Wuhan is based on the Korean production, it has to be adjusted to suit Chinese viewers.
Such as the stage setting, the judges' comments. It is better to localize this rather than to overhaul the entire show.
Oh Seung-hyun, the Korean executive director producing the show in China, says he brought more than 50 crew members. For instance, most of the cameramen are Korean, and due to language differences, they need one-on-one interpretation. Working with the Chinese, South Korea's team thinks each side has its production forte.
As I see it, the Chinese side is good at studio production techniques. The Koreans are more skilled in location shooting.
The Chinese executive director Zhang Zi thinks the Korean crew works scrupulously.
All their scripts and instructions are written into works, categorized and present very clearly. The finalized script is then handed over to the Chinese side.
The Chinese TV station says this co-production has a purpose.
Why did we choose to cooperate with this team? A vital consideration is through the co-production and completion of a big project like this, we can improve our own standard.
Chinese scholars studying the media say the division of labor in Japan and South Korea is very professional.
Singers and stars have agencies, including TV stations, that do a great job packaging them beautifully. The makeup is sophisticated. For example, agencies packaging performers' external image.
Yin Hong says there is a so-called four-tier management culture in China, meaning there is no real competition among cultural products from the central, provincial, local, and county levels in the market. Besides, China's internal market is enormous and demand is huge. Given the lack of awareness of protecting intellectual properties, originality is often stifled.
Under fierce competition in China, once a product is launched, a lot of copycats follow. When a product is overexploited, it becomes unstable and hard to export. Nowadays, the competition in China's cultural industry is like holding a biscuit. Before you can eat it, people are already grabbing it.
So unless China becomes as liberal as other democratic countries, it's going to be very difficult to come up with a very good imagination. Okay, the culture industry, entertainment industry is it has a lot to do with imagination and creativity.
In prioritizing local cultural development, the South Korean government had banned the broadcast of Japanese TV dramas, movies, and music until the 1990s. After the 1998 Asian financial turmoil, Kim Dae-jung's government proposed the policy of building the nation on culture to galvanize the South Korean economy. And incumbent President Park Geun-hye's administration also set the promotion of the cultural industry as one of the 5 main policy items.
Developing the economy through culture has brought fortune to the people. This is called building the nation on culture.
In the past 2 years, over $40 billion have been invested in South Korea's entertainment and media markets. The South Korean Culture Ministry says it won't intervene directly in the culture industry, but only support it through setting up funds and developing technology. In the past 5 years, it altogether invested $900 million.
If government intervenes in this area, then it will have a negative effect. Therefore, we should let people in the cultural industry do their own thing naturally, and then we'll naturally attract other people's attention. The political world and entertainment world, they are separate.
Chinese scholars think the government intervenes too much in efforts to learn from the Korean model.
The government's involvement is too deep. In making a product, the government decides what is to be produced and for whom.
Japan used to be the world's second largest economy, its soft power dominating Asia. But the Japanese government is feeling the challenge of South Korea at its heels. In 2011, the Ministry of Economy, Trade and Industry adopted the Cool Japan strategy as a platform to promote Japanese culture and creative industries abroad. The Japanese government admits South Korea is one of its models.
Now, South Korea's president leads and establishes promotional organs for the development of the culture industry. She actively sets up these bodies.
Japan and South Korea influence and compete with each other. Michihiro Kishimoto thinks Japan's big domestic market and language barrier made it neglect promoting itself abroad.
Japanese younger generations doesn't eager to visit abroad to understand foreign people compared to the generations years ago. So we think the most important thing, making those Japanese younger generation more outward looking and exchange their views with foreign people and get some inspiration from abroad. And we really admire Korean cultural businesses.
The Japanese government invests $10 million yearly to promote Cool Japan. The Japan External Trade Organization hopes to promote Japan's multifaceted culture, from fashion and music to anime, movie, and service industries, so as to attract more tourists.
もう世界各地に一番強くなっているのはお寿司とか
As one of the projects in Cool Japan, in global terms, sushi and other Japanese food are our forte. As a tourist item, we hope to lure more people to come.
Japan's pop culture hasn't retreated from the international stage. This Japanese artist has a market in Japan as well as overseas, including the US. The company manager says the selling point is the cute image of Harajuku in Tokyo.
Of course, we value our domestic market. It's equally important to extend overseas. A theme like Harajuku culture is like fashion. Its creative content can easily appeal to Japan as well as to foreign markets. So we really value this.
Despite the onslaught of K-pop, Yusuke Nakagawa believes Japan has been absorbing pop culture from different places all along.
Japan always had Western music, not only J-pop, but also music from many other countries, including Korea. I think the best thing is to optimize on making original Japanese music. We don't need to imitate South Korea.
From soft power to economic benefits, cultural exports symbolize a nation's strength.
Starting with awareness of Korean TV dramas. Next, attention is paid to the nation of South Korea, then buying its product. This increased knowledge of South Korea and the value of South Korean products.
Coinciding with Abe's economic planning to revive Japan's economy, despite many different ways and means, one of them is to promote Japan abroad again.
Scholars at the moment still can't pinpoint where China's soft power lies.
Japan and South Korea's exports symbolize the image of the nations, like South Korea's inspirational health and happiness image. But in China's current popular culture, what really represents the cultural spirit of the moment?
Well, thank you for watching our show. It will be re-aired on Tuesday and Saturday, as well as on tvb.com. Next week, a look at East Asia's youths. Until then, from the Pearl Report team, good night, good luck, and good health.